Okay, February 9th, you join us after the Super Bowl. I'm watching the Super Bowl, and I thought you looked miserable. And then I realized you're probably going, wait a minute, why am I not playing in a Super Bowl? Then we had the interview a couple of days later, February 9th. When you hung up the phone with me that day, what was the rest of the day like, the reaction to what you said?
Well, the rest of the day, started off with, I had all the Man of the Year interviews to do. So that's really why we had, the interview with you, and then if I had set that up and all that. And then the rest of the day got interesting. I would say the next day got interesting more so than anything else. But anyways, listen, I think that anytime you're not playing, you want to be playing in that game. This is why I've been fortunate to play in it twice, win one of them, and you want to get back and do everything you can to get back. And that's what our team's trying to do here, and we're excited about the team that we have and where we're headed. So we got a chance.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's go back, though. Do you hear from how long does it take before the Seahawks call you after the interview with me?
It was, I don't know, maybe a couple hours probably.
Okay, just so you know, I didn't plan on bringing this up. I sort of stumbled onto it because I just wanted to know why you didn't look like you were having a good time. And then it felt like you wanted or welcomed the opportunity to get this off your chest. Is that fair?
No, I think that more than anything else, like I said, we had all the end of the year stuff that we had to do, and I think more than anything else, we just had a dialogue, a conversation, and I think it was definitely blown out of proportion in terms of the moment and what it became. It was a little unfortunate, but I think more than anything else, what I care about? I care about winning. That's what I want to do. So I just put my cleats on every day, and that's always been my focus. That's always been my goal. Is to win it all and to continue to do that and try to do everything we can. So, so anyways, it's been a great off season. My teammates and I, we've spent a lot of great time getting the work in, spending time together, and we're excited about getting back the ball and playing. And fans.
Is your relationship different with the Seahawks?
I would say it's stronger. I think me and Pete have gotten even closer. Okay. We've always been super close. So, Pete and I, we've always had a great bond. But I think, we got to have a great heart-to-heart. And just, he's got goals. I have goals. We want to do great things, And so to actually, really dive into those and really talk about, those missions, those goals, it was fun. So, and so I think, me and Coach Carroll's relationship is stronger than ever. And I think that's the best part about it. And also my teammates, we're pumped about the season and getting back to playing ball and snapping the ball and scoring touchdowns and winning games.
Did you ever think you were going to be traded in the offseason?
I think that anytime in sports there's a potential of being traded. I think there's always a real opportunity to that. But, I think that, I've always wanted to be in Seattle. I've always loved being there. And it's a place that I've always wanted to play. So it's been great.
And how glad were you that the Aaron Rodgers topic then took over and kind of put you on the back burner?
What?
No, when Aaron Rodgers, all that talk came up, they stopped talking about you and what was going on in Seattle. It was like everybody was, then curious about what was going on with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on up there. It's not really any of my business, but,
Wait, you're not following what's going on with it. How can you possibly not follow what's going on with Aaron Rodgers?
I'm not saying you don't watch it. Obviously, it's an interesting situation up there. But it's I don't have any intel on that. With Aaron, I think that obviously he's a great player, one of the best to ever played the game at that position. In this position. So anytime that's going on, it's always kind of hectic and confusing, and it makes it difficult for everyone. But I think that obviously he's been such a tremendous quarterback throughout his whole career.
Russell Wilson, the Seahawks quarterback, joining us on the show. Any benefit, upside to 17-game regular season?
I don't know. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of weird because now you have 8 home games and 9 away games. So it's kind of interesting. I think that the biggest thing is that the NFL will obviously be able to broadcast a whole nother game. I would say the biggest kind of interesting thing is that with the playoffs, you don't have that extra week if you're a first seed or a second seed or whatever it is. right? So, I think that's kind of a new interesting thing. So, it puts more pressure on the body. Physically, the game is such a physical game, but, I love playing, so any time we get to strap up the cleats and play, that's my favorite thing. So I don't mind the 17 thing, but I think it is definitely an interesting dynamic with the playoffs and all that. That's more of a challenge for sure.
I wonder about load management, Russ, for certain players. Do you think we'll have that in the NFL?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you'll have that in the NFL. I mean, I think you kind of have that with certain guys who get injured or dinged up, but for I think your guys who are healthy and your premier players. I'm assuming you're talking about like the NBA how they kind of hold guys out for this and the yeah. So I don't think that will happen in the NFL, at least at this stage, because every game in the NFL it matters so much. It counts so much against the record and playoffs, standings and this and that, right? So NBA they play so many games, that it is a little bit less of a factor. It's kind of like Major League Baseball, right? You play 162 games in 180 plus days, wherever it is. So guys can catch a break for a second and come back and be stronger the next day. Well, football, I'm playing dinged up, I'm playing beat up. You got to do what you got to do, And ultimately, you want to be on the field, you want to be available, and the guys that can be consistent and available, be professional, be ready to play, dominate the game every moment they step on the field. Be a true factor. I think that those are the guys who are game changers and true factors to the game and making a difference. And so you need all those guys, And I got a guy like Dwayne Brown, who's one of the best left tackles in the game. He makes a difference when he's in there for me. So I love it when he's out there blocking for me. So you always want to have those guys. You got the guy like a DK Metcalf or Ty Lockett. Those guys aren't gonna sit out because another game. You know what I mean?
How would you have done in the home run derby?
I wouldn't have done what DK did in the All-Star game. But I think it would have been fun. I know that watching Trey Mancini hit those home runs last night was amazing. Alonso obviously too. But just thinking about Trey Mancini, having cancer, a year and a couple months ago, and now being once again an all-star and being the player that he is, and then being the home run derby coming in second. That's the story. That was amazing. And I don't know if the sports world's honoring that enough of what Trey Mancini's been able to do.
But imagine if I said every 5 games you have to play defensive back and play quarterback the rest of the time. Like Ohtani pitches every 5th game, but he's playing every day. Do you think you could do double duty like Ohtani's doing?
Oh man, I don't know. These receivers are pretty talented out there, man. I used to play cornerback in the day in high school. I was a good corner in high school, but these guys out here running these routes are pretty spectacular. But what Ohtani's doing is crazy to see, because he's not just doing it at the pro level or anything else. He's doing it at the highest level possible, and he's doing it better than everybody else too. He's throwing 100 miles an hour, 98 miles an hour consistently wherever he's throwing, and has all the pitches and everything else striking everybody out. But he's also got this, the power that he's hitting the ball with and the poise that he hits it with. What's amazing is watching his stance and how poised he is, and how, when that ball comes, when the ball's pitched, you feel like every swing is going to be the right swing. You feel like he's going to crush it. So it's been amazing watching his success, and another story that needs to be talked about and told more.